And Beretta intercepted by Teague. George Teague to the end zone. Touchdown. Hall is now right in the middle. That's their blitz. Passes away. Penalty flag down. Lamar Thomas has got it. Lamar Thomas is on his way down the sideline. George Teague is after him and runs him down. Takes the ball away from him. Teague's got the ball. And they tackle Teague back up to 12. Game's over. Alabama defeats Miami. Number 2 beats number 1. 34-13.
Blitz on from the 1. And they throw a fade right side of the end zone for Owens. He got both feet in. Touchdown catch over the shoulder. Here we go. Oh, they're going to have a big fight. There goes Owens. Puts it down. Teague levels it.
Here it goes.
And now Teague is aimed at by an offensive lineman. Flozell Adams pulls Teague away. And Owens is waved to the bench. And he stands in the middle of the star and holds the ball out.
Let me tell you something, Brad. Terrell Owens started it. Emmett Smith went out to the 50. Trumped him. Now Terrell Owens comes back, and George Teague said, you know what, I'm not going to take this. Good for George Teague.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into yet another Teague's Take podcast with George Teague. I'm your host, IndyCar Tim, and we are live from the Maverick Bar in Carrollton, Texas, 1616 West Hebron Parkway, pretty much 16 minutes from everywhere in DFW. We invite you to come join us here each Thursday night at 6 p.m. Come get you some food, some drinks, and hang out with us. George is here, JT is here, and we've got a very special guest here at the table with us at the Maverick Bar. In the name of one Jonathan Scott, former UT great, former NFL great, national champion, by the way.
Yeah,
George,
respect on that.
George, how on earth did you talk him into doing this?
Oh my gosh! Well, I figured out what he liked. That he really wanted to go to the University of Alabama, but they wouldn't let him in. So we became friends.
That is a bold-faced lie.
Wait, is he on the short list with Lamar and T.O.?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
man.
I wouldn't even go that far because actually, you know what? It's great that Jonathan Scott actually coaches with me at John Paul II High School. He is our offensive line coach, so he does a great job with working with our students.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we needed to bring him on in so we can talk a little bit of football and pretend like we like Texas for a little while.
I thought maybe he was going to bring a helmet. Put it up here on the table with us.
You know, I was thinking about it, but
it's so great.
It's a 3XL helmet. It probably would have weighed down the whole table.
Yeah, this little plastic table we got wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked at all.
This was expensive, man.
Yeah.
On a podcaster's salary, I might add. We've got a great show for everybody lined out. Of course, we're going to talk to Jonathan here shortly, talk about his exploits and what he's got going on now. We're going to talk a little bit about the Earl Thomas saga continues in the NFL. He's available once again. Why? And then, of course, there's a former Cowboy, probably about to hang it up for good in Dez Bryant as he keeps getting shots and keeps getting rejected. His shots keep getting rejected back into the third row from pretty much anybody he talks to. Shakes his finger like Matumbo. I see you over there. So we're going to get into that, but we are happy to have Jonathan here with us. George's good friend, as I mentioned, national champion at the University of Texas. We know that Vince Young really didn't have nearly as much to do with that team as Jonathan did. We're going to give props.
Thank you.
I mean, the whole reason Vince had time to scramble was this guy over here to my right.
Yeah.
So, George, what are we going to do with Jonathan here tonight? What's he going to talk about?
Well, I think there's a few things that we need to hit in with, right? Because he does coach high school football. Obviously, he played on a great team. We got to talk some Texas football, of course. And for the people that like high school football, private school football, he actually is coached in TAPS currently, and he coached in the SBC.
Right.
So I'm very interested to hear this take. with most of those things. So before we get to the meat of it, I think a lot of people are going to want to hear, obviously about Vince Young and your days with Texas. But I want to start first with.
Do you want to hear the question that we had?
You know what? Let's hit
Do
that
that
first.
first?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that
Oh,
first.
I have a lot of information, so just
So this is a listener question off of Twitter. It's Jay Brutado 493 at Jay Brutado 493 on Twitter. And anybody can reach out to any one of us on the show to ask a question for the upcoming show. Just do the hashtag AskTeague, and we'll see that and we'll make a note for it, just like at Jay Brutado 493 did. He wants to know, Jonathan, what's more amazing, winning a national championship against USC or playing in your very first NFL game?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? I'm gonna have to definitely say, man. Like, I don't want to, minimize, first game in the NFL, but definitely winning a national championship. Mostly because of, of course, with the teammates that I had, we had a great moment, and it was a whole drama leading up to that game, but. The biggest thing that really resonated with me was being able to enjoy that moment. I literally had a cigar moment with my dad right after the game. And when Joe Burrow won that national championship and I saw him kind of kick his feet up and have that cigar, I knew exactly how he felt. The hard work, dedication that goes in to getting to that, literally the highest level in competition on the collegiate level. It was a great feeling. So I'll definitely say winning the national championship was great. And then I've never felt so confident knowing we were going to win. Like, knowing. It's like, what tomorrow's date is. Like, we knew we were going to win. Despite everything that was saying and, on the media and other teams, like, we just knew we were going to win. So
well, that's saying something, because I didn't know y'all were going to win until that last second touchdown.
Yeah, like, we knew. It's kind of funny, even in that whole leading up to the game, literally, I've never witnessed in my entire career playing any kind of team activity. We had a perfect practice the entire week.
Wow.
Perfect practice. I mean, everybody was locked in, the trainers, the equipment staff, the coaches, the players. I mean, we had a perfect practice. We just knew we were going to win.
What's a testament to Coach Brown then?
Oh, no question.
Keeping you guys in order.
Yeah, Coach Brown is he's definitely a leader of men. He definitely allowed us to be ourselves and allowed us to just believe in each other, trust each other. It was just a testament of just, the ultimate team sport,
So tell us about that whole preparation piece, going to national championship. Obviously, I had an opportunity to play in one game, and a lot of people want to know, what was that like, even for you, I guess, to be able to have a few weeks to prepare for a game. Was it super intense? Were you relaxed? How did you like the experience of
that? Well, the experience was one. It's like I can remember. There's a few times I can remember even practices. I can remember all the the bowl events. It was kind of that be in the moment, and I remember everything. It was literally like being on cloud nine. There was no stress of being able to know that we can perform against USC. It was just smooth. It was just like, hey, we've been here. We've done it time and time again. We've been behind in games, came back victoriously. We had like ultimate confidence, and you gotta contribute that to, man. It was our leader, Vince Young. I mean, he had ultimate confidence, and it just oozed on everyone, and I mean literally oozed from him all the way to the UT band. I mean, it was It was just one of those things that his winning spirit was contagious in a good way. One thing I can definitely say is that I remember when we were practicing, like even Coach Brown got out of his shell. Like Coach Brown, like how you see Coach Brown now when he's like He's dancing with the players at UNC, and he's having fun. At first, he was uber conservative.
Do that, huh?
Now we're getting into the games. Coach Brown is dancing, and we like, what? Like, we looking at Coach Brown like, man, is he sipping on a little something? What's going on? But again, it was just that confidence that just kind of just blanketed it over everybody.
Okay, so with being an offensive lineman,
Right.
and playing with someone like Vince Young, does it affect you, whether good or bad, depending on who your quarterback is when you're an offensive lineman? Does it change the way that you play depending on who you got to?
No, well, you shouldn't take that approach. That's what I'll say. That for me, I've blocked for numerous quarterbacks. It's kind of the O line. Do your damn job. That's what you're here. That's what you're there for. It doesn't matter if he's a sitting in the pocket kind of guy. If he's a scrambler, just do your job. It didn't really matter because even throughout my whole career at Texas and even the pros, I had a different type of quarterback every time. Applewhite, different type of quarterback. Chris Sims, different type of quarterback. Chance Mock, different type of quarterback. It just do your damn job. Now, it was up to the coaches to comprise the best players for the type of players we had. And surprisingly enough, kind of segue, side note, we had talent. We had less talent than we did the year before. But we had more cohesive unit. We just worked well together. We did everything together. Right?
Sure, they look fun just being able to play in that game and have that kind of victory, that win. Play that dynamic and huge at the end of the game.
Well, to beat USC, good lord.
Yeah, because the whole time, and I'm going to trash USC completely.
Please do.
The thing about it is that USC, as the week, and kind of leads to your other question, you lead up to the week. They're talking about this is the greatest football team in the history of college sports. They've never had more Heisman players in one team and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, did y'all forget that we just beat Colorado 70-something in the Big 12 championship? And we outscored everybody. Like, we beat up on everybody. And we were like second-class citizens. And we were like, wait a minute, we're good too. And so we had a major chip on our shoulder collectively. The coaches did, we did. Everybody did, right?
Yeah, for the powerhouse that Texas already was and had been historically, there was very little national respect going out to you guys.
Oh yeah, and then they had the whole, the superstar Hollywood. They had what's that?
Reggie Bush,
and then all the superstars, like the actors and everything. They're all backing them up and. It was just like, man, are you serious? Like, it was crazy. It was very Hollywood.
Well, congratulations on that, dude. What do you do with your ring? Where's your ring at? You got it?
So it is sitting in a jewelry case. It's
safe and sound.
Safe and sound and insured.
So let me.
There you go.
Yep. So
that's a good segue too.
Hey, I want to put this on you real fast, just because I know about you a little bit more than normal people, because you brought it up about smoking cigars, and I know I got a lot of people that are interested in that. So what got you into being the
cigar
expert? He asked me one time, hey, what kind of cigars you like, and I brought him one. He's like, oh, I know exactly what you like.
Yeah, it kind of goes to that. It all started in. I got a cool cigar story. So after we won the national championship, actually we sat down in the hotel in Beverly Hills, and my dad sat me down. He pulled out a Cohiba. We lit that cigar in the actual hotel in the front lobby, and nobody said anything to us. And at that point, I'm having a cigar with my dad. I was like, I felt like a man. So
you know how big you are? Who gonna say it right? Who is gonna want that?
Now, but you gotta think too. My dad was bigger than me. My dad was 6'9". Yeah, he was literally bigger than me. So, unfortunately, years later, my dad passed away, And it was just kind of the sentimental moment. Having that cigar just reminded me of my dad. And as I had cigars, I started, just becoming aware of just the process of what it takes to turn a seed into this, masterpiece, this, work of art. And you start understanding the process. It's over 600 different hands that touch a cigar, a premium cigar, from germination all the way to packaging, putting it in the box and sending it. It's a lot of history behind it. It's a lot of just artistry that goes behind it. And on top of that, when you get a good stick, your standards get high. It's like, yeah, that's trash. I'm like, yeah, I ain't. And like I said, I gave you a good stick. You like it, right?
You did.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna give you a bad stick. Yeah.
No, I thank you, man. So let's flip back a little bit, because you kind of been. I think you did a little bit of. Did you do some interns with some professional teams?
Yeah,
too?
I did with Arizona Cardinals and San Francisco 49ers.
So is that your long-term goal, maybe to try to get into college ball or professional ranks?
It's one of those. I've had those come to Jesus meetings. At the end of the day, in the conversation I had, spiritually, is just being able to empower people, and an opportunity to be able to coach and give someone my knowledge base, specifically in the football space, O-line space. I pursued it. There was opportunities that I was hoping to come. They have not. If they do, I'm gonna continue that path. If I do not, I'm still living my purpose and empowering people, which kind of takes me into what I'm doing now, is just through financial education. So, I'm happy exactly where I'm at. Like, God's got me exactly where I want to be. So if I'm in it, and if I'm coaching in the NFL, great. If I'm not, great.
And we're glad that you are where you need to be right now. And that's what John Paul II High School.
Yeah.
Because we got to make another run at this state championship.
We need to go ahead and get that number one spot.
We got to do this thing. You know what I'm saying?
So you're coaching the O-line, obviously.
Yeah.
Over there. Okay.
One thing I can definitely say specifically, working with Coach Teague and JT, is that, like, literally, Coach Teague just really just turned this program around. I mean, literally, 4 years prior, they only won 4 or 5 games?
None.
Yeah, within that 5 years, they've only won none. 4 in 5 years. So to do that the year before, only winning a few games, to going into the state championship, that's just a testament of just the collective group of men. Is just, hey man, like, you can do it now. We can win now. We don't have to rebuild. We can do it now. And it's just, like I said, it's a testament of the ultimate team sport.
I do appreciate it. So, and I know JT's going to jump in a minute, but I did want to ask you one question, because you did coach at Episcopal School of Dallas. Right. Was there another SBC school or
just them? Yeah.
So, and I don't know how involved you were other than coaching with the team there, but can you see any differences between the two leagues, between SBC and TAPS, now that you've been in ours for a couple of years or whatever?
Yeah, it's kind of two buckets. I can definitely see the difference between ESD and John Paul. That's one bucket. And I can definitely see the difference between SBC and TAPS. Specifically the TAPS. Like, TAPS kind of gives me and again, I'm only speaking from my perception. I'm not saying it's fact, but TAPS kind of gives me the perception that it's like a private school version of UIL. What I mean by that is that there is a focus on the student athlete, right? There is a focus on student then athlete. It seems to be procedures and different things that help promote the student athlete, because at the end of the day, you cannot, if you have, I tell the guys all the time, if you have aspirations to play in the NFL, you cannot do it without graduating, period. You can't. So there seems to be a bigger focus on the student athlete and not just the student. SBC, it was kind of like this cloak of mysteriousness. It's like you never could get in touch with anybody from that league. They just didn't care. Like, at least it felt like that. There seems to be more involvement, understanding. Just they seem to look like we working toward the player versus just being this governing body and just being a hierarchy. If you know.
Yes, their structure is very different.
This is the hierarchy.
Because they have commissioners. I would say it's probably more like, I don't know, maybe the NFL.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's like it's kind of like TAPS is more like, all right, here's some guidelines. Let's grow it to make it bigger. SPC is like this. If you do this, this is the law. If you break it, you're out. It's like, geez, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. JT, you got something for him?
Yeah.
What's up?
Is Texas back?
Is Texas back? All right.
Or flip question. Did they ever leave?
Well, let me put it like this.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Check it out. This is how I feel. As long as we're the team that won the national championship and no one does better than me, it is what it is. I'm just saying, it kind of is what it is.
He said Texas ended in 2005, and after that, it was somebody else.
If we get into the real competition of football, if you ain't first, you're last. And if they can't outdo us, they'll never be to the standard, or at least my expectation. But I can at least say this is that I can definitely appreciate what Herman's doing there. The university is. It's not the same type of players. They're different. It's a different.
So
era.
what's been the struggle? Has it been the players? So, and I guess say relate a little bit because Alabama took a big swell, where they weren't very good either, and you have to try to figure out how to come back. So what do you think that is? What is going on with Texas? How do we get out of that rut? Is it the coach? Is it the players? Is it the facilities? Is it?
It ain't the facilities. It definitely ain't the facilities.
What better not be the facilities?
Yeah, because they got top-notch facilities. That's for sure. Like, you know what? Can I be real? Can I be frank?
That's what we do on
Yeah, nobody's listening anyway. It's all right.
Yeah, we're just talking.
I just kind of think from a collective standpoint, the players that are there, they just don't have the same type of mental toughness that I saw. And I'm pretty sure the players before me, like, I wasn't as mentally tough as they were. So, I just remember one time it was when they played, was that Notre Dame? And I was on the sideline. And I remember we were up, like, before halftime, we were up, like, 12 points or something. And the sideline, they looked so sad, like they lost their favorite dog. And I was like, why are y'all looking so pitiful? Like, just because they scored, you're still up. And, like, they just different. Like, some of the players are just different. Like, I kind of always make fun of basketball players. I think they soft as drugstore cotton. I mean, personally, they just soft.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah, they're just soft. And then, there tends to be a little bit of that softness with some of the players that I've seen in all of college sports right now.
It's a different era.
It's a different era, but
different era.
I can't really say what it is, but just kind of my perception. It's just not.
Does that derive from the coach? I mean, you're in it. You don't think that you can recruit the right kid? Even with, you got teams that are dominant, right? Or can you instill it in the way you work or practice? How much of that goes into the coach?
Yeah, well, I think it, in a sense of the recruiting process. Of course, you got certain guidelines. You got to be passing this, that, and the other. But you got to have a few dogs, and you got to have a few just loose cannons on your team. We had a few loose cannons, and they got groomed, and they became who they are. But we had some people that were just like, for instance, a good buddy of mine and business partner, Bethel. He didn't play. He actually played at A&M, Bethel Johnson, right?
Gig 'em.
You notice he said he started with he didn't play.
He didn't play at Texas, right? But the thing about that we kind of talked about is that Bethel came in and he was a dog. Like, he came to play football. He didn't come for sport. I mean, for academics.
He didn't come to play school.
He
as
didn't
they
play
say.
school. He didn't come to play school. And with that being said, he had a certain type of tenacity that couldn't be, you couldn't bottle him up. I feel that we don't have enough, at Texas, we don't have enough of those guys that are just tenacious and just like, I'm here to kick butt and take names. You got to have some dogs on the team. We had some dogs on our football team. I think, everyone's too nice. Just my personal opinion.
Give us your best dog impression, since I know that you were a frat.
If I do that, I'll scare everybody.
Don't do it now, man. Come on.
I'll just give you a little. I'll just give you a little bit. But if I do a loud one,
I don't know what kind of dog that is.
yeah, it's a tenacious dog. Yeah.
Before we get into the Jalen Milroe flip-flop real quick, I had one question for you regarding A&M and Texas. Mm-hmm. Do you miss the rivalry at all as a former player?
I miss the atmosphere around it, right? We used to beat up on A&M all the time. I never lost to them, so I don't really
Cannot dispute that.
Never lost to them, ever.
No.
It's a big misunderstanding, is what Jonathan was trying to say.
I do miss beating up on A&M, a lot. But, I think it's good for the state of Texas. I think it needs to be brought back. I think it's like, is this Texas over here and this Texas over there? It was always that, like,
right.
that internal battle and that rivalry. I think missed that. The student body, just everything leading up to it. Even though we knew we was gonna beat the brakes off of them.
Every year.
It was still exciting.
Every year.
It was still exciting.
Frickin' Texas.
I think they need to bring it back. But Texas is a giant. So
Texas does what Texas wants to do.
Exactly.
So when Texas is ready to play A&M again, it'll happen.
Yeah.
And that part of what you said a second ago, that's why I miss the old Southwest Conference.
Right.
I mean, when I was at A&M, it was still Southwest Conference, right before the split to the Big.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I'm old. I'm your dad's age, man. Come on now.
Definitely a different century.
Whoa. You heard how he trying to throw that in
Well,
there?
you did play in the first conference championship
Ever.
ever.
Oh, wow.
That is the thing. Yeah, that's
Ever.
the thing.
That's superlative.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I miss about the Southwest Conference. Other than Arkansas, all Texas.
Right.
Every Texas team. Yeah. And I get why Arkansas bolted to the SEC, but anyway, that's a good old day syndrome that I got right there, and I miss all of that.
You still butthurt because Texas A&M left and came to the SEC.
No, I wanted them to leave to go to the SEC. I wanted to get as far away from the Longhorns as I possibly could.
But now how you feel about it?
Now
where you want them to go?
Now I want them to play Texas again.
Yeah, because they definitely ain't competing in the SEC. They need to just come on back.
See, we could do a whole show about that.
Okay, last question before we get to the other part. Then,
Yeah.
how long does Jimbo Fisher stay at A&M?
As long as he wants.
Well, he got like a really.
I know, but if he ain't winning no games,
Look, man, they done paid him too
He's
much
winning.
money to cut him loose.
This is just now his recruiting class is coming in to start, all right? He still doesn't have his quarterback.
You're defending him.
I am
I'm just
defending
asking
him.
which angle you're coming from. Is this
He
your
still doesn't have his quarterback.
analyst side or is this your
Jalen Mullen was
fan
not a good quarterback.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was not your guy, but
No,
Yeah. Well,
they're recruiting big guys, but they're slow.
yeah.
that's okay. You can be slow in the SEC.
No,
Oh,
you can't.
really?
No, you
He
can't.
must not have been around here very long.
In the SEC? Nah.
All right, so we've got a flip-flop here that George brought to my attention. The recruit, Jalen Milroe, heavy quarterback recruit, had verbally committed to Texas. And what was it, 2 weeks ago, came out and said, I think I might want to go to Alabama instead. Now, honestly, I don't follow a lot of Texas. I do try to follow as much of the recruiting as I can. Is this an issue with Texas? Do they have a lot of big recruits? That
Not in this
verbally,
case. Not in this case.
No.
No.
Yeah.
This is
This is big news, right?
yeah, I mean it was big news, but the reason why Texas lost a recruit, in my opinion, is because they got a better one.
We ain't paying enough money.
Also could be true.
Ooh, I'm gonna just go like this for a minute. No one can see that if you're just listening to it.
You know what? I think, I'm on the fence with it because at the end of the day, let's be real. The NCAA is a money-making machine.
All right.
And then in my whole thing, you talking about a 17-year-old kid, and you want him to make a business decision, and you're trying to recruit him to, oh, come over here. All you're doing is, you're flashing them like, this is what we do. Oh, no, this is what we do. So if he flips and goes another direction, well, who cares? I mean, he's 17. He's a little kid.
Right.
I mean, he's a kid. So, making him, I'm not saying that you guys are, but make him out to be a bad guy because he goes to Alabama because it looks better and looks shinier. Go for it. Like, I always tell I tell guys who are looking to get recruited, I said at the end of the day, I don't care about none of that. If it feels right, that's where you need to go. I don't care if it's Texas, A&M, Oklahoma. Yeah, I said it. Even if it's, if that's where you feel, that's where you want to go, and if you feel it in your heart, go for it. Like, because at the end of the day, I know I made a great decision going to Texas because it felt right.
What were your last choices of schools? Your top 5 or 3 or whatever you want to put.
So my other choices: LSU, Ohio State, Florida, and Michigan.
There's a bunch of you guys getting recruited out of Carter back in the day, wasn't there?
Yeah, no, shoot. I think my senior year, we had 26 guys sign letter of intent. 11 of them went Division I, 1A.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
a high school powerhouse, man.
Yeah, we would have had some coaching. Oh, we would have won state championship. I'm telling you, yeah, we had some ball players, but we didn't know what we were doing. We just out there, pure talent, no direction.
Well, it's about break time.
Yes, sir.
You gonna hang out with us for the rest of the show, or are you gonna
Of
bowl?
course. So yeah, I'm not
We got some good stuff to talk about
yeah,
coming
we got
up. So
4 quarters, right?
4 quarters.
Yeah, 4 quarters.
2-minute warning of the first half was about 2 minutes ago.
Yep, and I saw some questions coming up through the feed asking about Earl Thomas. We're gonna get right into Earl Thomas right out of the break. This is Teague's Take. We're here with Jonathan Scott. Hook 'em horns.
Yeah.
I'll say it, man. I got respect. Oh, George ain't gonna follow up with me.
No.
George ain't gonna follow me up here.
Cut that out. No, that's blasphemy.
Yeah, post that like right now. Let's do it.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
ProfoundSites.com for your personal and commercial needs. Websites built, repaired, secured, maintained, and found. Brent Thomas and ProfoundSites.com provide e-commerce development, website development, online marketing, web, mobile, and e-commerce consulting. With over 10 years experience, Profound Sites is responsible for creating GeorgeTeague.com, where you can hear Teague's Take with George Teague every week. Brent Thomas and Profound Sites can take you through the entire pain-free process of building your new website. From initial discussion to planning, design, to coding, and making your site live and discoverable on the internet. Contact Brent Thomas at ProfoundSites.com or email him at Brent@ProfoundSites.com.
Hey, this is IndyCar Tim. I want to talk to you about the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, Texas. It's North Dallas's premier sports bar and grill located at 1616 West Hebron Parkway. It's 16 minutes from just about anywhere in the DFW Metroplex. With all of the live action on dozens of TVs and the big screen, it's the place to hang out and watch the return of sports with all your friends. Friday and Saturday nights, you'll find the best live music in DFW right there at the Maverick Bar. And of course, on Thursday nights at 6 p.m., you'll find Teague's Take broadcasting live with Alabama and Cowboys legend George Teague. Come hang out and be part of the show. Check out the Maverick Bar and Grill in Carrollton, 972-492-7500, or on the web at themaverickbar.com.
Need a one-stop shop for Cowboys news and happenings over at the Star in Frisco? Click on over to CowboysSI.com, featuring Mike Fisher with 30 years experience covering America's team. It's the most popular of all the Sports Illustrated sites and home to the Cowboys Blitzcast podcast. CowboysSI.com is the place to get inside your Cowboys. With such a talented team of writers and reporters over there, you'll always know the latest about personnel and roster moves, salary cap issues, and draft class status. Click on over to CowboysSI.com and always be in the know and get the inside scoop on America's team.
Increase time inside your home, noticing all the little things needing attention? Let Repair Resource be your one trusted contractor to tackle all of your home repair needs. They do it all: electrical, plumbing, drywall, painting, and flooring of all types. They can even handle your exterior needs, like fencing, patio covers, concrete pads, and decking. No job too big or small. Repair Resource does it all. Call them at 972-415-1198 or visit them online at www.repair-resource.com.
Hello, Teagues Take fans. This is IndyCar Tim, and I want to talk to you about our good friends over at Meat Church. Do you need to take your barbecue and grilling game to the next level? Check out the great line of products from Meat Church Barbecue, from seasoning and rubs to full-blown recipes for things like pork belly burnt ends, smoked queso, beef ribs, smoked bologna, and Tex-style brisket. Meat Church has what you need. If your barbecue and grilling game is lacking, check out their barbecue classes and other events. They'll help you raise your game to impress friends and family. If you're in the Waxahachie area, please check out their store at 205 West College Street, or give them a call at 214-980-1063, or head on over to meatchurch.com for locations near you where you can get all their great products, or order directly online at meatchurch.com. Welcome back into Teagues Take. Lots of fun conversations here with former UT great, former NFL. I guess you're never a former UT great, right? Once a UT great, you're always a UT great.
Yeah, you got it right.
Jonathan Scott, Carter High School in Dallas, by the way, local kid, make good. Career assistant, offensive line coach, JP2 High School with Mr. Teague over here. Lots of good things we're talking about. It is that time of the show, however, America's favorite segment of the show, and it's time for Money Matters with JT. JT, what's up?
Well, this segment is brought to you by profoundsites.com. Brent Thomas does a very good job with our website. Go check him out. But this week we're talking about Earl Thomas being cut by the Ravens. So the situation, as I read it and as I followed, was Earl Thomas and another safety by the name of Chuck Clark basically got into it on the sideline. So much so that Harbaugh took notice and kind of thought it would blow over. And then it kind of escalated during practice on the field. Earl Thomas had released the practice video, and you can see Chuck Clark being so upset that he took his helmet off, spiked it on the ground, walks off, and it went even further into the locker room to where they had to separate people, and Earl Thomas ended up getting sent home. Now, what was fishy to me, so there's been a lot of talk on ESPN and things where, they're saying that they're basically trying to paint the picture that the Ravens were trying to get rid of Earl Thomas because he was underperforming. I think there's more to the story than this, because I look at Chuck Clark, who is a 6th-round draft pick, he's played 3 years in the league, but he didn't actually start a game until midway through his 2nd year.
Okay.
And I can't imagine what universe where a 6th-round pick like this gets to stand up to a perennial Pro Bowler, Super Bowl winner, starting safety in your own position group, and he's not the one that's sent home. So Earl Thomas is the one that's sent home and ultimately released. Now,
To me, that speaks volumes right there.
yes. Now, it's come out that he's apparently been late to meetings, and he had the
He got some stuff on his plate, don't he?
oh yeah, he had some stuff during the summer, right, where his wife pointed a gun at him, and they said that the Ravens leadership basically wanted him out. So I'm wondering, kind of what is your take on the situation? Because I kind of think that all of this may be true, but I think, and I know, Jonathan don't really like the Ravens anyway, but I do think they keep, as an organization, much like the Steelers, they do keep things pretty well tight. Right. And when they find a problem, they are not shy about just cutting ties and getting rid of them.
Well, they were willing to eat that contract to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So that tells you the severity of whatever was happening happening.
I can guarantee you he had some choice words to ownership, and that didn't go well with them. And they like, oh, okay, we're gonna hit you where your pocketbook hurts. So, and then they got this thing people don't know about. It's called a blacklist. when you get on that blacklist, you ain't playing for nobody. So if you mess up, you piss off somebody in ownership, guarantee you they're gonna pass that little blacklist and you don't want to mess with him.
Well, you've seen it happen quite a few times.
Yeah, I've seen guys who were performing one year, had some choice words with the wrong people, and next thing you know, they jumping from one team to the next, not even making practice squad.
Right.
Well, I think JT's trying to go down into how many times have we seen fights in practice?
All the time.
And maybe
Head coaches don't mind that, right? As a head coach, you don't mind
But you also usually see it across the ball, or at least between position groups.
Right.
Not the same position.
Yeah, like imagine if you and Darren Woodson was on the field throwing punches at each other.
I'll take Darren. Just because he's coming on the show here.
That's the only reason. Oh gosh.
Sorry, George.
I want that. We'll have that talk after the show.
Okay. I'm scared.
Oh gosh. So I want to come from a different angle with this. Okay, I think everything he's saying is absolutely valid and honest on how that can happen, because we've seen that. It would be like, and it would be opposite side of the ball, as you said. There were certain things we knew we didn't do. It didn't matter who you were, especially if you're a free agent. You didn't hit the start and running back. You didn't tackle the quarterback. You don't tackle the big-time wide receiver. You just, it's just
it's a
rule.
certain protocol.
It's just a certain protocol. You don't do that, and especially if you're a late-round draft pick or a free agent or, someone coming in like that. You just don't. You don't do that. So there is some mystery to that. I do know that I think is making it harder in the league for people to get cuts, I guess, the way the money's going and all that they're really looking for some kind of reason to get you out of here. That aha moment, that got your moment, and this might have been it for Earl.
It could have been.
Okay. Yeah, it's an old saying. Sometimes the juice ain't worth the squeeze. And they may have found someone that can do the exact, similar job to what Earl is at a cheaper price.
Now, so speaking of that, does it change the situation a little bit if I told you that Chuck Clark is actually the one that wears the green dot on the defense? It used to be a linebacker. It used to be a middle linebacker because, it typically is. And last year he got hurt. And they were going to be rotating linebackers quite frequently. And instead of giving it to somebody like Earl Thomas, they gave that communication back to the DC to Chuck Clark.
So you're saying that because of his position of importance on the field, being the defensive quarterback, calling the plays for the defense, that swayed their decision to let go of, or to discipline or let go of Thomas rather than him?
I'm not going that far. I'm wondering more, is it that as somebody who was so trusted to make sure the defense was in line, to see that reaction where he's throwing his helmet down makes me wonder more so about what is Earl Thomas actually doing? Because, the saying, be who you can afford to be. And it seems like maybe, I don't know, but maybe there was something more going on to him just being like, because if you're, I don't know, Randy Moss, you can be late to as many practices as you want to, but if you, who was the one? Plexico Burris, the one that was just showing up on Sundays. He wasn't even going to practice. He just showed up on Sundays to put him out there. He scored his touchdowns, and they let him do it
with a bullet in his leg.
Too, didn't he? Yeah, he shot himself.
Yeah, and he shot himself.
At a club.
Yeah, wow, yeah. I heard some interesting tea on that. I don't know if it's true. But
here we go.
We like tea. We like tea on Teague's Take.
I heard, this is just what they say. They told me that it was someone else that shot him, and he took the rap for it.
Oh.
And he said he shot himself.
Well, that was smart of him then.
So that's what I heard. Don't know it to be true. That's just what I heard.
They called him some money though.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It might be. We'll put it like this: it was someone that was. I was just popping my finger. That's all. Someone that was close to him. that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true though. But
See, you never know what's really going on in the mindset of guys. And I need to bloviate here for a second again because, talking about this Earl Thomas thing and football, and because I'm sitting here with many people that have played or in great business, here's what I can say, and I say this all the time. Football players are warriors. We are warriors. We are meant. We have the mindset that we're going to fight. We're going to stand toe-to-toe with people. I'm not saying that we got to be assholes and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? When we get challenged, it's what you were talking about being that dog. When we get challenged, things happen. And that's how you end up getting to the National Football League. You can't go into the National Football League and be some soft dude. It just doesn't happen. Right. And we know as players when we are, as someone alluded to, playing dominoes and we're losing and you're talking too much shit, sometimes it goes a little bit too far, right?
Right.
Or whatever it is. You're messing around in a hot tub and someone doing something inappropriate in the hot tub, then you know what? Fights start to happen. And that kind of thing. And so something probably happened on the field. It could have been just as simple as talking about girlfriend, wife, kid. I don't know, but we have a defense mechanism that's built in, and that's why we don't like to lose on every single play.
Right.
And when we're around our friends, our buddies, our teammates, when things start to go haywire and it doesn't seem like we're going in the same path, we're going to bow our backs.
Right.
Now, I know you know that.
Right.
Just from our experiences. That's another piece of tea we right?
I get a little fiery.
Yes, it just happens, right? But we, as players, don't make the right decisions sometimes like that because it will affect your job.
Yeah.
It affects your money and the things that you're saying. And because we can't really just switch that off. We can't switch that off. That's the same thing that happened with me and Terrell Owens. All this kind of stuff, you just can't. It just happens.
Right.
It just happens.
It's innate. Yeah.
Well, then let's steer this towards the Cowboys a little bit. We know McCarthy's got some personnel influence now. It's my personal belief Jerry wants Earl Thomas and Mike McCarthy does not. That's why Jerry in his press conference earlier in the week declined to comment really one way or the other, in or out. And I feel like McCarthy's having the final say on it. But let's say that they both wanted him and he signed here. George, do you think Earl Thomas would be a good fit in the secondary here? Price not being an issue.
Oh, well, if you're taking the money out of it,
well, let me scratch out all of my notes.
What is that? Do I think he would be a good fit? Yes.
Knowing what we know about him psychologically.
Well, yes, I do. And I'm going to say that because of knowing exactly how Jerry Jones operates when we deal with troubled individuals with the Cowboys. And we've had a history of those. The support system for guys like Earl Thomas or Spellman or Demetrius Underwood or whatever ones you want to name, Jerry Jones has this formula, and he's not afraid to be able to say, hey, I can support you off the field as well. Well, most teams won't. McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers, they're not going to bring in those kind of people for whatever reason. So that's how he's been molded. But coming in and being a player, now if you want to find out who that missing piece is because they're saying, Clinton Dix isn't doing exactly what he needs to be doing right now to secure this spot, I bet Jerry Jones is saying, man, if I can get this guy for cheap, he's going to come in and be the answer to what we need, and we can shuffle people around. So,
and they're talking about moving Reggie Robinson, the rookie, to safety.
Yes.
The one
so obviously they think there's an issue there.
There is an issue. So bringing him in would solve our issues, I believe, if there's that kind of desire to have a safety to come in and fill the spot.
Right.
But if you ask me the other question, do I think he's going to be here? Answer is no. And I'm saying that just because you're still dealing with the type of player that even though he ran into trouble, he's probably not going to take the kind of pay cut he's going to need to actually come to the Dallas Cowboys. Because Jerry Jones is not going to spend $8 million, $9 million, $10 million. He's not going to spend $5 million on a safety.
Right.
So I don't see it happening But
And I think too, and it's kind of like this is where some teams suck, and they're always going to suck. Is that when teams try to pick a player just based off their performance, and not contributing or keeping in mind their leadership quality, because like for instance, let's say you have a safety, your defense is built off of your safety being the eyes and ears of the entire defense. If it can be, it does. If Earl can't play that position, not the actual position, but play that role, it doesn't matter. He's gonna fail miserably. I don't know if he's that leader. For instance, Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark was the leader of the defense in the secondary, but who was the person that got all the notoriety, all the the attributes? Troy Polamalu. Why? Because Ryan knew if Troy is out of play or hitting the wrong gap, he knew how to cover his back.
Fix it.
He knew how to fix it. Is Earl that type of player? I don't know. This kind of get to another point is that I hate it when these teams strategically get players. I'm gonna just call it spade what it is. Ben Roethlisberger. Right? Ben Roethlisberger is not a leader. I'm sorry. I know from personal fact that he is not a leader, right? Who was the true leader when it came to the quarterback? It was our backup. When we had questions and we were trying to figure it out, hey, Chuck, what do we do on scat? What are you thinking right here if we got this kind of protection, this kind of front? We go to him. We didn't go to Ben.
Who was the backup then?
Charlie Batch.
Charlie Batch.
He was a leader of men. He can be able to say, hey, I'm not the most, quote-unquote, talented, but I know how to get the best out of every player. And to my point, is he that role that he plays in the secondary, is he going to be able to bring the best out of these other players?
Well, apparently the Ravens don't think so. That's why they gave the green dot to somebody else.
And we've all played with those kind of guys, too, where you got the guy that's just a playmaker. Probably needs some extra help. He won't be the quarterback of the defense. I don't see him doing that. I can see him making some plays because he's athletic and has great instincts and all that kind of stuff. But
it's kind of like it's that and that goes to coaching, right? Finding out what the best bang of your buck, not just money, but how you can get the best out of your player. Larry Fitzgerald, when he moved to the slot, he became more effective.
And he didn't even want to do it, but he sucked it up and he did it.
He became more effective, and now he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's probably extended his career a little bit too.
A little bit.
Because you can't just do vertical routes and Randy Moss it up and just throw it deep. Now you can't do that anymore. So they had to mold him into something different. But guess what? He rose to the occasion. Like I said, first time he's gonna be first ballot Hall of Famer. So, if the Cowboys were to look at getting Earl, they got to see how that type of player he is and how he can fit with their system.
So I want to make sure we give Jonathan time to talk about his Scott Family Foundation. But before we do that, Dez Bryant's a hot topic right now. We all know
why
he had his tryout with the Ravens.
I don't know why.
Well, you know what? I don't really either. I'm not the one that brought him up for the run sheet.
That's true.
I did. Hey man, every week after we talk, what do you always tell me after every show? Hey George.
Good show.
Yeah, but you also say, this is your show.
That's right. Exactly. It's not my show.
So we're getting ready to talk about Dez Bryant.
But there's a tall fence. Dez Bryant is a huge fence, and you're either on one side of it or the other. There's no straddling that fence. And he's not playing anymore, dude. He's not coming back.
But why do people keep talking about it all the time? It's Colin Kaepernick. And it's different deals. I'm just talking about people that we want to come back into the league. Dez Bryant I didn't think he was coming back after he was done. I think it's been evident after he goes to tryouts and don't make it. It's not. I mean, he's working out. Everybody's seeing him all on the Twitter and Instagram and doing all the workouts. And I'm watching the film as an evaluator, and I'm going, that dude, that don't look like NFL material to me today.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
this film that I'm watching when you're out there in the grass.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go out there and cover you right now, brother.
Okay.
And you know what? I believe him.
Yeah.
I've seen some of that film.
Yeah, you know,
It's not Antonio Bryant out there. I mean, Antonio Bryant. Antonio Brown out there.
No,
Probably ain't
it's not him either.
Probably not Antonio Bryant either.
Yeah. You know,
Speaking of 88s.
Yeah, so I don't know. You know, a lot of people saying bring him back and all that. What about,
No.
adding a deal? I don't. They gave away the 88. I think that was enough for us to know
Yeah.
that's it, at least for the
yeah,
Cowboys.
he's not the type of player, to my point. He's not the type of player that you bring back to be able to make the team better.
Right.
You can do that with a Jason Witten. You know, Jason Witten ain't nowhere as fast as he used to be,
Yeah.
but he brings an X factor to be able to create that cohesiveness. That's the value in someone who's got some years in him.
I mean,
So
Can he come in and be Jason Witten?
No, receiver?
Stop.
No, there's no such thing. It's like a pink unicorn. That just doesn't exist.
He begged the Cowboys to bring him back and let him play in the slot.
A receiver being a leader? Oh God, no, that's not happening.
They're not
Ever.
wired that way.
They're not wired that way
At all.
It's
Hey, I
like-
played 5th grade flag football receiver. I know how we're wired.
Yeah. Receivers are divas, and I call it like it is. Receivers are divas.
How big
All
was that
of them.
flag football belt that you had to put on?
I had to wrap it around twice. Went all the way around twice.
That extension?
And then I had to tie it instead of belt it through.
What is
Yeah.
that?
I was skinny back then, too, by the
You
way.
had like everybody's flags got 3 flags on it. Yours got 6.
So, yeah, when he tore that Achilles with the Saints
Well,
in his
that was
first
it.
practice that was it, dude. His
Look,
career was
you
over.
you tore yours. I tore mine. You're never gonna be the same.
I stepped on a Lego once and my career was over.
Your career was over before then. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's true.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it ain't happening. Dez, it ain't happening, man.
No,
Sorry,
I mean
man.
he had his chance the first time the Ravens offered him a multi-year contract, and he said no because he wanted a one-year deal.
Yep.
I think that, and I think it's just, the thing he may be struggling with is that he's not ended on his terms. That's what he's really doing.
I think
with.
that's
I ended on my terms. I'm like, I'm straight. I'm not playing no more.
Well, then he needs to go do what some other players did. Well, I guess it ain't happening, but he needs to go play some arena ball, go to Canada,
Yeah.
whatever he needs to do, get his last.
Hoorah.
Him and Johnny Manziel can go play for somebody up in Canada. Well, they don't even
No,
want him
Johnny
anymore, do
Manziel
they?
can't play in
He
Canada
already
no
burned
more
his
either.
bridges up there, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Wait
know.
a minute, he
what to
messing
do.
up in Canada?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they traded
He
him to Montreal, and Montreal was
Montreal
like,
cut him.
nah.
He
bro.
played 2 games, and they're like, "No, we don't need you." And then the commissioner of the CFL said, "Yeah, you're no longer welcome in our league."
Oh, wow.
Like, he was banned from the CFL.
Oh, the CFL is gangster. All right, so I'm gonna tell you this. I kid
I
you
used to
not.
live up there, man. I know.
They had the what you call it, a combine, right? I kid you not. They had a combine right here in Hebron. I can't even think of the team. They're orange and black, whatever team that is, right? So they had they CFL combine. They had about 120 people out. Pay your $100. And you're going to run the 40, you're going to do the shuttle, you're going to do all this stuff. Literally. People will come in, pay their 100, fill out the form, go stretch, run their 40. If it was too slow, they cut them right then.
Oh, man.
And they don't get their $100 back. It's a cash cow. They get $10,000 just like that.
Well, they don't have time to mess around up there, man.
I'm saying when
the
they
summer's
gangster,
too short.
they cut them before they even finish the actual workout and keep their money. Now, tell me that ain't gangster.
Did you
That's
try?
pretty funny.
Were you up there too? Did they get you for your 100?
Oh no!
Did they get you for your
Oh no!
100?
No! I
what this
was there. I was helping them coach. I was helping them facilitate the workout.
Yeah,
And I made sure
he
they
just-
gave me my money, and I felt kind of bad because the money that the players gave them, they gave to me. So I was like, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it still.
Scott just knows that there was 100 people there, and he only got to actually coach about 10 of them because the other 90 couldn't make it past
Literally,
the
I
first
think
test.
out of that it was the Bisons. What's the Bison? What Bisons? There's a CFL
No.
team. There's the Bisons or
Stampede?
no? I don't have a clue. Maybe they weren't the CFL.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm
But
sitting on
anyway,
the computer right now.
but literally, they
North
they,
Dakota
they,
State, the
they only
Bisons?
they got
North
one
Dakota
person. They picked up one person, and it was like a receiver.
North Dakota State is the Bison. They're up
They
there.
cut
They're
all.
close
They
enough.
cut all 99 of them.
Bison, before you make all the North Dakota State fans mad.
Bison.
Yes, because you know they're going to be back down here in Frisco.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And if you doing the show, they all going to show up, and they all going to be
Well,
talking
Carson
about
Wentz
how
has
you
got to
called-
play quarterback for somebody.
Oh yeah, they got
Are they even playing?
No.
They're all done.
No, they're not playing. Wait, why is it Bison?
It's from North Dakota. Don't argue.
That's not how it's spelled, though, right?
No, it's just how they say it.
Oh, well, they say everything weird up there.
Yeah.
As I say, I used to live in Canada.
So look at this. I want to answer this one that she put on here. Can DeMarcus Ware make a comeback?
Come back from what? I mean, he had a down season, but don't call it a comeback.
He's been here for years.
Yeah, well, he just opened up his gym and his business and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know where it is. It's local around here. I don't know if you saw it.
He's still sporting the bald head, though, right?
Does that go away?
We got to stick together.
Can he do something?
We got to stick together.
I mean, is that on purpose, are you saying? That
I
you just
think so.
cut it off?
Oh, I know people that have done that, and I don't understand it. Mine is not voluntary. Mine is on purpose. Mine is not voluntary.
I hadn't really understood this. What is the science behind this, that you can have no hair on your head, but you can have a full face beard?
It's not science. It's just genetics.
What is that?
It's just genetics.
I thought it was
did you
Beijing.
do something?
What are we talking about?
What is this? Okay, man.
That's just the way it is. Hey, Jonathan, before we go, why don't you let us know what's going on with the Scott Family Foundation? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Scott Family Foundation, the whole purpose of it is empowerment for underserved kids as well as communities. We have different programs that we're doing to promote financial wealth, financial education. Specifically, one of the projects that I'm doing right now, I got a meeting with my editor. I'm writing a book about financial education, and it's geared towards athletes, former and future professional athletes, giving them insight about the recruiting process, the agent process, being an athlete and an entrepreneur. I call it athletepreneur.
Trademark registered.
Yes, it is. Actually, it is.
There you go.
Yeah. So just doing, like, at the end of the day, kind of in the very first question, it's all about empowering. So this is just kind of my personal goal or mission is to eliminate the conversation about athletes going broke.
Yep.
All it is just about informing and educating. So we've actually created some inroads with some different universities to be able to teach juniors and seniors, and an ongoing mentorship program with universities to teach them about just how understanding what a 401k is, what an IRA is, understanding what an index universal life policy is, understanding compounding interest.
Hey, this is how you know when people got money.
But
They don't know what to do with it.
Because part of the book is like, at the end of the day, your career will end. That is a guarantee. It's going to end at some point.
Ask Dez Bryant.
Right. So
And Earl Thomas.
And Earl Thomas.
And then at the end of the day, you're going to play. If you play professional sports, you're going to get a lump sum of money in a very small amount of time. So now, but you got to think. You got to think forward, and it's very hard for a 20-year-old kid to think forward of how can I make this $20 million that I'm getting last for another 40 years, right? And so it all starts with education, building a mindset, but it's an ongoing process, and that's what we're doing is just teaching young folks, how to be your own business. One of the things, my dad used to always tell me, he's like, son, when you get you a little money, incorporate yourself. So I did it, and that's what it's all about. And it's just incorporating yourself, because you ain't gonna play football forever.
So how do people help you? Is there a website? What can they give?
So right now, where my focus is going is towards financial education. Is my business is FFC capitalventures.com, and you can log on to the website, get some information, email us, and it's a whole educational process. We work with high net worth individuals, everyday Americans, business owners, you name it. It's all about just educating people, and then how to use different financial products to empower yourself, so where you can be able to generationally take that on to the next step. That's what it's all about. It's just teaching my people, you know.
One more time on that website. So
Again, it's FFCcapitalventures.com. FFC.
We need to put a link to that up on georgeteague.com so everybody can find it.
Is that capital with an O or an A?
What's that?
Well, there's a difference between the two words in capital.
I would say A.
Capital with an A, not capital like.
I'm just making sure. I want people to go to the right place.
Capital. Yeah, capital.
we'll post it on georgeteague.com.
Yeah, just check it out. Yeah, we do. It can go into a deep, web of different things that you can be able to do, but it's all based off unique situations. I mean, we got some very high elite things that we do for clients. I actually got 3 billionaires I work with.
Nice,
So,
nice.
Wow.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get there myself.
That's why you got them Tom Fords around your neck right there. Huh?
You know, this is a gift. These are gifts.
Sure.
All right, man.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up Teague's Take for this week. We want to thank Jonathan Scott for coming out and hanging out with us for the last hour. We're going to have him back on maybe during football season to break down what the Cowboys are doing wrong on the offensive line.
I would love to do that because I got so much to say about the offensive line. Yeah, so
Well,
go ahead.
it's going to happen. Got another podcast you might be interested in coming on, too. We'll talk about that after the show. But live from the Maverick Bar, Carrollton, Texas, 1616 West Hebron Parkway, 16 minutes from pretty much anywhere in DFW. Please come on out every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Or if you're listening to the recorded podcast, please like, subscribe, share, leave us a good review so everybody else that's looking for us can find us. That just helps the podcast be a little more noticeable and available for everybody. But once again, thanks for everybody that were here live. This is Teague's Take. I'm IndyCar Tim. He's George. He's Jonathan Scott. He's JT. Until next week, we'll see you later.
All right. Oh!